Hello everyone, I wanted to make this video to give encouragement to all who are waiting on God in this time and who might need encouragement in this time of the end. And in this video I wanted to explain a bit my rapture dream. I know the Bible doesn't use the word rapture, but we all know what it means. It's Jesus calling us right before the destruction of the world. And I'll just get right into it. My rapture dream happened to me one night. I was going to sleep, and actually I wasn't that tired. What happened is I just felt this horrible fright fall over me, and then I went into a dream, but really I felt like it was a vision because it was so intense, so clear, so real that it was like I was there in reality. Okay? And what happened is I was on the balcony at my aunt's house that I was praying on, that I usually go to pray, and it's open, and in the dream I just appeared there immediately. And as I was there, it didn't take long. I mean, it happened almost simultaneously, where I saw the clouds of heaven, these big, beautiful white clouds start to approach me. And then as the clouds were approaching, behind appeared many white horses, almost like in a triangle formation. And at the front was Jesus riding on the horse, and behind him was his angels. And these horses were all white. Jesus was all in all white. All of the angels behind him were in all white. They looked like men. They didn't look like angels. They just looked like men riding on horses, like a big white army. And the horses weren't of usual size, and the men riding on the horses weren't in usual size. They were huge. They were gigantic. And it was too many to count, and they were all approaching me. And of course, since we all know about what the Bible says about Jesus coming, I knew the one in the front leading the charge was Jesus. Okay, anyways, the video ended at this moment. The dream ended at this exact moment, once I got the full picture of them, and then I woke up. And when I woke up, I was a bit terrified because of the dream, because it felt so real. And also too, I have to confess, this dream bothered me, not just because it was terrifying in the way that it felt so real. It's like, wow, I just saw the day of the Lord. I just saw Jesus riding the horses. I just saw this, and it felt like real life. But it was also a bit troubling to me because at the moment I was living with my aunt, and she lives in a rent stabilized building, and I'm a adult male. I'm 28 now, but at the moment I was 26, and I was just thinking to myself, oh Lord, please don't let me be still living with my aunt when your end comes, because I just didn't want to feel as low as I did when the end came, because I was living with my aunt temporarily because, some decisions I made in my life and trying to get back on track. And at this moment, actually, I was working at a really good job. I was making really good money, and I was actually planning to save to move. I was in the process of getting married, and I was just thinking to myself, oh no, how could I be here in the end? Anyways, it was very ungrateful of me to have this dream and then say this as soon as I woke up. I just don't want to be here in the end. For me, it was very unappreciative of God having given me this dream, because it was so beautiful, and it was such a privilege to have this dream, this vision, because it gave me real faith that he's coming, and that I will see it. I will see when he comes. And you have to understand that everybody who's connected to Christ will see Christ when he comes. So that was reassurance that I will make it. I will make it to see this day. Maybe not in the position that I would like, but I will make it to see this day. Anyways, when I woke up from that dream, I was saying to myself, okay, I'm going to do anything that I can not to be still living with my aunt when this time comes. But God does not work like that. A year passed. I got married. I moved to France with my wife, and the vision never really left my mind, in my heart. I always thought, okay, but how will I be back in America? How will I be back in New York when this dream happens? I mean, when the end comes, because now I'm living in France with my wife, and I don't think it could be possible unless I went back to visit. And at that time, actually, I was not trying to come back even to visit in America, because I still didn't have my papers finished in France, so to travel comfortably back to America yet. And I didn't have the money, because actually in France it was very difficult for me to get a job and to find stable employment. Anyways, as the time was passing in France, it was so difficult to get a job. It was stressing me out, it was depressing me. And I kind of just reached a breaking point where I told my wife, okay, I have to go back to America. And I told her I had a dream that I was at my aunt's house when the end came. And I know I told you that I'm going back there to get work, but it's either one or two things that is going to happen when I go back. One would be me getting a job, me being able to welcome you back to America with me, and our life kind of continuing. But I knew, and I told her, that it's also possible that the end will come when I go back, because I had this dream and this vision, and if I'm going back to stay with my aunt for a while, I mean, this would be the perfect situation that this might take place now, given the condition of the world, given everything, all the natural disasters happening in the world at this moment in time. And so I told her to be prepared to know this. So anyways, I come back to America October 5th. This is 2 days before the attacks and the whole war that's going on in Israel. And then 2 days later, the attacks happened. So I called my wife and I let her know I really believe now the end is coming. But I'm still going to be doing everything that I can to get a job, to move our life forward, because we don't know the day of the hour. So even though I felt like it was coming soon, I still have to try my best to be a husband in this world and be a man in this world and take care of my responsibilities. So anyways, for the whole month of October, I started to, put in as many job applications as I could, even going to the places myself, bringing my resumes. I had a few interviews and I thought they went very well, but none of them actually turned out to be anything at all. So then I kept watching the news at the same time as this, and I just kept saying to myself, okay, I'm probably not gonna get a job, because God probably wants me to focus on Him and build my faith at this moment to become stronger and wait for the end, because for me it was a bit impossible that I wasn't getting a job at this moment given my resume and my qualifications, and I'm not trying to think more of myself than what is necessary, but this is the situation. So and also at the same time, I came back to New York by myself. And my wife wasn't supposed to come back to New York with me until I found a job. I started making some income and found a place. Okay, but as the world events started to develop more, everything with the war, all the natural disasters that's happening every day that the news is not showing, I told my wife I believe the end is coming, and she started to feel pressure herself, and so we decided to make the faith move, the decision in faith for her to come here so that we could be together while the end comes. Because I told her even before I came, either I'm going to get a job quickly, God is going to provide a job for me quickly, or the end is coming. And I also saw this dream here at the place that I am now, and I didn't know a year before, I didn't know how this situation or circumstance could even come about, giving that I was going to get married, I was working a good job at that time. How could I still be at my aunt's house when the end came? Well, life worked out. God moved the situation obviously in the way that he wanted, and you can't stop what God does. You can't stop God's plan. So okay, now I'm back in this situation, and I just want to give encouragement to everybody now that trust in what you believe. Keep reading the scriptures. We all see the signs. We all see God working with us in these moments. And I know it may be hard, and it is very hard because, you know, right before God does something, it always gets hard. And this thing that he's doing now is huge. It's big. So yes, it's gonna get hard, but just keep trusting in God. Try to pray every morning. This is what I try to do. Try to reach God every morning, every time that I wake up. Read your Bible. Keep praying. Me and my wife, we fasted. I fasted a few times by myself. My wife fasted a few times by herself. And we also fast together last week. We thought it was coming last week, but it didn't. I'm not gonna get into why we believe it was gonna come last week, but that was our thought. But I still know that it's coming any second, any day now. So guys, don't give up. And if you have any dreams, or if you have any experiences yourself that you would like to share it with me in the comments. This is my first video of this type, but I felt like I wanted to share my experience and my situation in this time to give encouragement to everybody who may be struggling right now, or looking for other experiences to strengthen them, because I have been and I am. So I don't know how much more I'll be posting. I had another video, but I don't want to make videos too long, so I'll share that at another time. Anyways, Jesus is coming soon. Get ready. Don't give up hope. Keep your faith, and I'll talk to you next time.